All right, welcome back, lads. PolyTovar here, and welcome back on our Sunday journal. Yes, I know. The last Sunday there was no vlog, unfortunately, mainly because I was cleaning the house. I needed to um, cut the grass in the garden in the back of the house. So we had a lot of work and here and there. So I'm very sorry because of that. The main reason because of everything was because the tenants were coming that Monday, if I remember correctly. Yes, this Monday came the tenants, and we wanted to have everything all right. So I needed to do my job. So okay, lads, what happened in the past 2 weeks? And maybe and also more probably if I forgot something. Well, in the last 2 weeks, I had my internship at the unpaid internship at the Slovak National Archive, in which I had like my school my like theoretical and technical experience about how it is to work in an archive. I was there with my whole class, and the part of my class who chose the part of the archivist. There's another path in the or another sector of my class which choose museology. The museology the part the part damn it part. Sorry, I trying to do it correctly, but I know the word, but I am not sure if I am able to say it correctly, like if you that you can understand. Well, like the part which is much more concentrated on the study of museums and the museology, or the sciences which try to understand how museum works and to better them also. Well, like me and my part of my of the in the part of my class which who choose the archive work, to work in the archives. We went there last 2 weeks ago, and it was very particular experience. Like we went very early, like 9 a.m. We went there, and when everybody was there, it took a little bit of time because there was the traffic in the city sometimes, very often, like early in the morning on Monday. Very often there's a lot of traffic, so there was some issues. But after a couple of minutes, 10 minutes after 9 a.m., all of us were there, and well, we were. It was explained to us all the department that work at the National Archive there, and what do they do? Like, for example, repairing of pages of books, conservation of books, like where with the specific rooms where what type of papers of documents are stored. Like, for example, one type of document in which I worked was the photography, or positive photography, or pictures of the House of Palffy, specifically the branch of Redstone Castle, or Červený kameň, Hrad Červeného kameňa, from the 19th and 20th century pictures, and there was a specific room or place where the specific information about that house, the branch of the house was, and also specifically the time period. So it was an interesting experience for me. But other than that, well, that was my job, but there were many other departments. For example, there was one about digitalization of pictures. Like, do you take a picture? No, that was bad. You have a picture and you need to put it in digital, like in the PC to to record it forever in a certain way. And we also saw that room, how it was. It was very interesting. Like, I saw that this something like this type of digitalization before in the city archive of Bratislava. There it was much more advanced. Like there were like a couple of years ago, probably they bought a new type of scanner, a huge scanner for this type of things. So there was nothing there in the National Archive, ironically, or maybe there is one somewhere in the building, but they didn't show us because it was somewhere else in another room, and they only show us two. They only show us like two stores, no, two-story building, like. Okay, I have it. Two floor, like the first two floors, like the first floor which we enter the building, another one upstairs where I worked for these 2 weeks. But anyway, so there was a lot of the job, like a department, like a library, reparation, chemistry department. Well, not a chemistry department, but more like chemistry for the conservation of specific objects which are in the archive, like all pieces of paper which they needed to get protected from the moss. No, the mold. Sorry, the mold. To have them protected from the mold, like you need to have them clean it up, and also if there are some pages or piece of paper which are completely like very like in pieces, like really broken down, so they need also to stitch it back together in a certain way, like in a certain way that they are able to read it. So, and this is a type of job which, well, when we finally finished everything, like the tour of the place, like the first two floors, they brought us in a room where they decided what type of job, like the type of internship we will have. For example, I was chosen. Well, it was asked about who wants to work with photography, like with pictures, and I volunteered myself, so I took it. That was my job. And for example, there was another type of job which it was only they could only do it only people who were able to speak Hungarian, and that was two of us, two of our group. One of them was worked with in my room where I worked, which was very helpful because he spoke Hungarian. He was able to help me also because my job about with the inventarization, not digitalization, with making the inventory and inventory of pictures. They were very often like what I needed to do is like I got a table, like I needed to write a table about every type of picture which I found in the box which I received to make like a table, 5 columns. After that, after the second day, I chose to make a third one, and because it was not a good type of column because I didn't have all the places for for all informations. But that was for another one. The first time I did it like on paper, like I wrote a table. So in the second, I show it to you lads. Something like that, like this, and it was too slow. At the beginning, I didn't know what I needed to write there, what was the most important thing. So after 2 days, or after my second day of working with the pictures, I brought my laptop, which is over there, and I use Excel to make tables with the columns. At the beginning, I was not very good I didn't know how to do it, but after trial and error, I was able to manually create a table or a spreadsheet, we can also call it, which was very useful for me. So, helpful, good. I improved my skills with Excel. So that was one plus of this internship. But like I said, the pictures Well, most of this period, the pictures which this nobility took were very simple, like portraits. Like, for example, there's the atelier, like the people who make paintings of people of the nobility, which very often they did. Like, nobility asks some painter to make a portrait of them, and well, they posed, and after the arrival of the photography of the like yes, photography or picture. Damn it, I really have no idea how to call it. This type of photograph machine or something like that. Sorry, lads. Well, anyway, they went there and took the picture, and very often this picture were in positive, like the type of picture which was taken. Like first was negative and then was made the positive. I am unable to explain to you how does it work very specifically because it's like if you know it, you know it. You don't ask questions sometimes. So I don't know how to explain it in Slovak because it's like okay, positive, and even less in English. Sorry, so I'm very sorry, lads. But anyway, so like I write down the information, the number of the pictures, and so on. And like I said, there was very often this picture in positive were portraits of these ateliers, which began their life like make studios who made paintings. And so very often in this portrait, very often at the bottom or in the back of the pictures, there were various information like the name of the atelier of the photograph or the logo and information about the atelier, and very often also in there was handwritten like a couple of words about who is the person in the picture, and also some information about it. For example, sometimes these pictures were like the front of a postcard, which people where this nobility sends to each other in the future. So there were not many more information about the atelier because it was much more modern. But it started they started to write quite a bit of text in there, which I needed to very often to transcribe it in the Excel, and this was very important because about that I had one of my colleague in the room with me, the one which was able to which was very good in he's half Hungarian, and he also speaks German very good. So I was able to ask him very often, what is it? What's written over in here? Please tell me, and so on. So he was very helpful. At the beginning, the work was slow, but in a couple of days, like at the end of the first week, it was all right. And then also this week, last couple of days, I was really quick with it. I was able to do one box and also finish a second one. Unfortunately, the second one, which was a little bit more difficult because we were early ending, so I wasn't able to do it quickly, mainly because very often when there was a lot of written in German or Hungarian, and very often it was in cursive, which I was unable to read very often, like what is there written there. Sometimes it was also Italian, which was able to read sometimes, but it was like Italian. The problem with Italian is that it has a lot of dialects even today. So 150 years ago, 100 to 150 years ago, it was probably even worse than it would have been now, because I can speak read and speak standard Italian, but the dialects is something completely different. So sometimes I can have some issues here and there with that. But at the end, we were able, with the help of my colleagues, which by the end of it, after they finished their work, helped me in the last day, last couple of hours of Friday, with the transcribe with the pictures here and there. So we were able to finish 2 boxes of pictures, and I'm very happy for and I'm very grateful of them for it. And that's all I can say about what happened these past 2 weeks. Other than that, tomorrow starts my new semester, my new school year, and tomorrow the opening ceremony of the new school year. I think to go there, like I don't think there is a need you need to go there, but it's like manner, so I want to go. I want to go there, and also before I go there, I need to take a look about. I need to go to a pair of places like a McDonald's franchise where I'm sent the possibility to work there. I found there was a possibility, so I took it, but very often they after I send a plea to like the opportunity, like I click on the opportunity to work there. They send I no I send an application. I sent it an application. And they still didn't answer me back. So sometimes, very often, it's in a couple of hours they still haven't responded. So I'll go there in person. Then also there is a little like a company which helps to find part-time jobs for young students, young adults here like that. So I think to go there again because I use their help before. I used their services before, but right now in the last couple of weeks some little bit of things happened like for example I had I had the internship at the archive, so I couldn't go to the various part-time jobs which they offered me, so I need to pull it off for these 2 weeks. And also I think I need to ask them what they need to what they plan how to work better with them. For example, I had my schedule of my classes next week. Like unfortunately, all my week is like full. Like well, not completely full, but for example, on Monday, Thursday, and Friday, I have one class, one class. Like, and then in Tuesday and Wednesday, I had it completely full. So ironic in a certain way, but sometimes when you have one class in a day, it's completely annoying. Like okay, only one job, but if it's, for example, in the middle of the day, you wake up at 8, and then it's difficult to do something like go to work because you at the back of your mind you have like the classes you need to go there later on. So it's really annoying. It will be really annoying, but there's nothing I can do with that. Hopefully, during this semester, I'll be able to go and earn myself a little bit of money, because it will be like it's something like you need to do mainly like to become an adult. Unfortunately, I had become an adult a couple of years ago, like over 5 years ago, and it's a bit embarrassing how I do my life in a certain way. I cannot complain, but I could have been doing better right now. Well, not like I am here like this could have been better than this. No, but like more like it being in another moment of my life. For example, like I said, my first semester was really difficult for me to concentrate to school. I was really nervous, but right now I'm less nervous. But ironically, during summer, I didn't use the opportunity to, for example, improve my German, or to start to learn Latin, for example. So I hopefully will improve my work schedule or and time management better this semester to improve in the future. What else? What else? Ah, yes. No. Well, find a job during school. That's the most important right now for me, and continue to improve my learning habits, like my studying habits, improve my time management, and so on. Other than that, the series on Installed Draco, Medieval to Total War, is still continuing. It's still alive. Haven't played the game for a couple of days, at least a week, I think. Right now, because I had a lot of things to do on my head, so I couldn't do it. But I'll return to recording maybe tomorrow, tomorrow evening, when after everything I'll be done. After everything I need to do will be over. I'll have an hour of time to record a new episode. Other than that, everything is alright. So thank you for watching. If you are watching, I know the channel is not so big. Maybe tomorrow I'll try to record my school, my day about how I go to school for the opening, new school year ceremony and so on. So we shall see. Until next time, PolyTovar out, and thank you for watching. Goodbye, lads.